That night, the house was silent except for the rain. Mai sat by the window, her phone heavy in her hand. The message from her mother glowed on the screen. Come tomorrow. Bring the trust documents, it's important. No condolence, no sorrow, only business. Her fingers shook as she read it again. The words felt colder than the storm outside. She stared at the small urn on the table. Inside were the ashes of her son, Min. Her chest tightened until breathing hurt. She typed a reply and deleted it twice. What could she say to a mother who skipped her grandson's funeral? When the clock struck midnight, she whispered, "Not tonight." Morning came pale and heavy. The mirror showed a stranger with hollow eyes. She drove through the city streets without feeling the motion. Every traffic light seemed too long, every face too distant. Her parents' house loomed at the end of the road. The gate opened before she knocked. Her father stood waiting, polished and expressionless. "Come in," he said, as if greeting a client. Inside, the air smelled of perfume and tension. Her sister Lynn sat on the sofa, legs crossed, phone in hand. Beside her was Thur, Mai's best friend since college. They didn't look up when Mai entered. Her mother adjusted her pearl necklace, smiling faintly. "We're glad you came. Let's settle this quickly." Mai's stomach twisted. Settle what? Her father placed a folder on the table. "We need to transfer the trust under Lynn's management." Her pulse spiked. "The trust belongs to Min." "And now to you," Lynn said smoothly. "But you're grieving." Mai stared at her, barely recognizing the woman she'd loved as a sister. Her mother leaned forward, voice soft but sharp. "You've never been good with money, dear. Let us help." Her words dripped with practiced concern. Mai flipped open the folder. Legal terms blurred before her eyes. Then she saw the date on one page. 14 months ago. Long before Min died. "You planned this while he was still alive." Her voice cracked, filled with disbelief. Lynn sighed as if exhausted. "Don't make this emotional. We're protecting the family." Mai laughed bitterly. "The family that didn't show up." Her mother's face hardened. "Watch your tone." Thur finally looked up, guilt flickering in her eyes. But she said nothing. Mai realized the silence was agreement. Her parents, her sister, her friend, all united in greed. Her father slid a pen toward her. "Sign, and we can all move on." Mai pushed it back, her hands steady now. "Move on from what? My son's death." The room went still. The only sound was her uneven breathing. Her father's expression darkened. "Don't be dramatic, it's just paperwork." Mai stood, voice low and fierce. "It's his legacy, and you won't touch it." No one stopped her as she walked to the door. Behind her, Lynn's voice rose, cold and final. "You'll regret this." Mai didn't look back. Outside, the rain had stopped. But her resolve had just begun to fall into place. Whatever they wanted, they would have to fight for it. And this time, she wasn't afraid to fight back. The next morning, the world felt heavy and unreal. Mai woke to the sound of her phone buzzing again. Another message from her sister, short and sharp. "You're making this harder than it needs to be." She stared at the words until the screen dimmed. Then she threw the phone across the bed. Her body felt hollow, but her mind wouldn't rest. They wanted control, not justice. They wanted money, not memory. She remembered Min's small voice at the hospital. "Don't worry, Mom, you're my hero." That memory became her armor. She took a deep breath and called the only person she could trust. "Mr. Lamb," she whispered, "I need your help." His calm voice on the other end grounded her. "Come by my office, bring everything you have." Mai gathered the documents, her heart pounding. The city blurred past as she drove. She barely noticed the light drizzle on the windshield. When she arrived, Mr. Lamb greeted her with quiet respect. "I heard about your son," he said softly. "I'm sorry." She nodded, unable to speak. He led her to a seat, unfolding the trust documents. His eyes narrowed as he read through each line. "They can't take this from you," he said firmly. "This trust was built to protect your child, and now you—" Mai's throat tightened. "They said I'm not stable." Mr. Lamb looked up. "Grief doesn't mean incompetence." He turned to his computer and searched his records. Minutes later, he pulled out another file. "Your ex-husband anticipated this," he explained. He added a clause preventing any family interference. Mai blinked, stunned. "So they have no legal right?" "None," he replied, "but they may try manipulation." She leaned back, the air leaving her lungs in relief. Then came anger, sharp and clean. "They already are," she said. "They used my pain as proof." Mr. Lamb nodded. "Then we'll use their greed as evidence." He advised her to document every call, every message. "Keep records of everything," he said. "People like them always reveal themselves." Mai left his office feeling lighter, but not safe. She stopped by a small cafe, her thoughts racing. Outside, the sky was gray, the air cold and metallic. Her phone vibrated again, this time a call from Thur. Mai hesitated, then answered. "Can we talk?" Thur's voice trembled. "I didn't mean—" "You were there," Mai interrupted. "You watched." Silence stretched between them. Finally, Thur whispered, "They said it was for your own good." Mai's laugh came out bitter and broken. "For my good or yours?" Thur didn't reply. The line went dead. Mai sat there for a long time, listening to the hum of rain. Each drop felt like a countdown. She knew now this wasn't just betrayal, it was war. And she wasn't the same woman who stood crying at a grave. She was awake, angry, and ready to fight. The next move would be hers. And when it came, they wouldn't see it coming. Days passed, but sleep never came easy. Mai spent her nights sorting through memories and documents. Hospital bills, treatment notes, old messages from Kwan. Each page felt like a heartbeat from a life already gone. But pain wasn't enough anymore. She needed proof. Proof that her family's kindness had been an illusion. She met Mr. Lamb again in his quiet office downtown. The room smelled of old books and rain on wood. He adjusted his glasses, scanning her growing pile of evidence. "You're doing well," he said, "but we need more witnesses." Mai nodded, her voice steady for once. "I'll get them. Angela, my neighbor, she saw everything." He smiled faintly. "Then she's our first line of defense." Mai called Angela that evening, her voice trembling. "I need your help," she said. "They're trying to take Min's trust." Angela didn't hesitate. "Come by tomorrow, I've kept notes." The next day, the old woman handed Mai several notebooks. "I wrote everything," Angela said softly. "Every hospital visit, every night you didn't sleep." Mai flipped through pages, filled with careful handwriting. Each line told a story of devotion, not madness. She clutched the notebooks to her chest, tears burning her eyes. "You were never alone," Angela whispered. "You just didn't see us." With renewed strength, Mai started calling others. Min's teachers, the nurses who treated him. One by one, they agreed to help. "She was always there," said Nurse Lynn. "Never missed a treatment." Mr. Lamb compiled the testimonies into a thick binder. "They can't fake this kind of truth," he said. Mai exhaled slowly, feeling the smallest spark of hope. But the next day, her phone rang again. An unknown number. She answered, and her mother's voice filled the line. "Stop embarrassing us," Mrs. Letter 1 ECDC hissed. "This is family business." Mai's jaw clenched. "Family doesn't betray family." Her mother's voice turned icy. "You've always been dramatic." The line clicked dead. Mai stood there for a long time, staring at nothing. Then she began recording every message, every call. Mr. Lamb had been right. People like them always expose themselves. That evening, she received another call. This time from Kwan's parents, gentle and sincere. "We just heard what's happening," his mother said. "We'll stand by you, dear. Min deserves that." Their kindness shattered the numbness that had settled in. It reminded her what real family felt like. The next morning, she met Mr. Lamb again. He showed her a legal draft with her name at the top. "This," he said, "is your shield. From now on, no one touches the trust." Mai traced the printed letters with trembling fingers. Her name looked stronger than it had in months. She looked up and met his steady gaze. "They think I'm broken," she said quietly. Mr. Lamb smiled. "Then let's show them how dangerous a broken heart can be." Mai closed the folder, feeling her pulse steady. The war had begun, but she finally had an army. This time, grief was not her weakness, it was her weapon. The official letter arrived on a Thursday morning. Mai held it in her hands, heart pounding in dread. "Emergency petition for guardianship," the title read. They were doing it. Her family was taking her to court. She sank into the chair, the world spinning. They wanted full control of the trust, and of her. Her phone buzzed again, another cruel message. "You can't win this. Let us help before it's too late." She deleted it without replying. Mr. Lamb's voice on the phone was calm and steady. "We expected this," he said. "Now we fight back." Mai nodded, even though her hands were trembling. "They'll use everything against me," she whispered. "And we'll use the truth," he replied. "Start collecting." For days, she and Angela worked side by side. They labeled files, copied photos, organized notebooks. Every piece of evidence told the same story. A mother who fought for her son. Not a woman losing her mind. Neighbors came forward to sign statements of support. Even Min's doctor sent a letter praising her dedication. Mr. Lamb built their case like armor, piece by piece. "Facts over feelings," he said. "They can fake emotion, not proof." But her family struck first on social media. Her sister, Lynn, posted photos of them together as children. The caption read, "Pray for my sister, grief has changed her." Hundreds of comments poured in with sympathy for Lynn. Mai read each one like a fresh wound. Her mother gave interviews to local news outlets. "She's not well," she said tearfully. "We only want to protect her." Protect her from what? From herself, they claimed. From the money she couldn't handle. From the guilt they pretended to share. Mai watched the lies spread like wildfire. She stopped sleeping. Every headline made her stomach twist. Angela refused to let her give up. "Let them talk," she said. "The truth speaks last." Mr. Lamb filed their counterpetition within 48 hours. Inside, every lie was dismantled with precision. Dates, receipts, text messages, medical records. Even Lynn's unauthorized access to hospital files. "We'll expose them all," Mr. Lamb promised. The day before the hearing, Mai's doorbell rang. It was Lynn, standing alone in the rain. Her voice was soft, almost kind. "Let's not make this public, Mai. Just sign the papers." Mai kept the security chain locked. "Leave," she said. "You don't understand," Lynn hissed. "You'll destroy yourself." Mai met her gaze through the narrow gap. "No," she said quietly. "You already tried." She closed the door and called Mr. Lamb. He told her to save the footage from the camera. "That recording might end this," he said. That night, Mai sat in the dark, watching the rain return. Outside, lightning flashed, reflecting on the wet glass. She wasn't afraid anymore. Tomorrow, the truth would finally have its day. And she was ready to face them all. The courtroom smelled of polish and fear. Mai sat beside Mr. Lamb, her hands clasped tight. Across the aisle, her family whispered among themselves. Lynn wore black, pretending grief like a costume. Her parents sat straight, faces carved from stone. The judge entered, stern and unreadable. "All rise," the bailiff called, and hearts seemed to stop. The petitioner's lawyer spoke first, his tone silky smooth. "My clients only wish to protect their daughter," he began. "She has been unstable since her son's passing." Every word was a knife, wrapped in sympathy. He presented photos, messages, twisted fragments of truth. Mai watched, silent, her pulse a drumbeat of anger. Then came the witnesses, her own mother first. "She's been distant," Mrs. NG letter 1 ECDC said softly. "Not herself." Her voice cracked perfectly on cue. Even the judge seemed moved for a moment. Then Lynn took the stand, eyes glistening like glass. "She called me at midnight, screaming that Min was still alive." Gasps filled the room. Mai gripped the edge of the table until her knuckles whitened. She remembered that night, the grief, the hallucination of a heartbeat. It wasn't madness, it was mourning. When their lawyer finished, silence stretched like wire. Then Mr. Lamb rose slowly, his voice low and deliberate. "Your Honor, this is not a case of compassion. It's greed." He paced before the bench, eyes steady on the judge. "These people abandoned her when her child was dying." He placed a file on the table. "In these records, not one hospital visit from them." He lifted another document, his tone sharpening. "And yet, 14 months before the boy's death, they researched how to seize his trust fund." Murmurs rippled through the courtroom. Lynn's lawyer objected, but the judge waved him off. "Continue," she said. Mr. Lamb gestured to the bailiff. "Please play the first recording." Speakers crackled to life with Lynn's voice. "Once the trust is mine, we can fix the house and pay the wedding." The sound echoed like thunder. Lynn's face drained of color. Her father shifted, throat tight with panic. Mr. Lamb didn't stop there. He played the second clip, the one from Mai's doorstep. Lynn's voice filled the room again. "You'll destroy yourself. Sign it or I'll make sure you do." The judge leaned back, expression turning cold. When the last word faded, silence swallowed the room. Mai's heart pounded, but she didn't look away. Mr. Lamb turned to the bench. "No further questions, Your Honor." The judge nodded slowly, her eyes on Lynn. "This court has heard enough." She spoke for several minutes, each sentence heavier than the last. "The petition for guardianship is denied. The evidence shows deliberate deception and exploitation." She ordered an investigation into perjury and privacy violations. Mai closed her eyes, the weight finally lifting. Angela wept quietly in the back row. When it was over, Mai stood, her knees weak but steady. Mr. Lamb smiled. "You did it." She whispered back, "No, we did." Outside, cameras flashed, voices shouted questions. Mai lifted her chin and said only one thing. "Justice was done for my son." A month passed since the verdict. The house no longer felt haunted, only quiet. Mai woke early each morning, her heart lighter than before. The documents were signed, the trust secured, the danger gone. But peace didn't mean stopping, it meant beginning again. She met Mr. Lamb, one last time in his office. "The fund is stable now," he said. "No one can touch it." Mai nodded, her hands resting on the folder between them. "I don't want it to sit in a bank," she said softly. He smiled. "Then let's build something that lasts." That same week, she founded the Min Foundation. Its purpose was simple: help families of sick children survive the impossible. Angela became the volunteer coordinator, tireless as ever. Kwan's parents handled outreach and family support. Mr. Lamb took care of legal and structure. For the first time in years, Mai felt surrounded by real family. They worked late into the night, drafting plans and grants. Every name on the list carried a story of struggle. Every small victory reminded her of her son's courage. 6 months later, the hospital wing opened under new colors. A silver plaque read, "Min's legacy, hope lives here." Doctors smiled, nurses cried, and Mai stood speechless. She touched the plaque, whispering, "We did it, sweetheart." Reporters asked her for statements, but she only said one thing: "Grief can break you, or it can rebuild you." She started speaking at support groups every month. Parents listened, eyes heavy with the same kind of loss. "The first step is surviving," she told them. "The second is remembering why you must." Her voice no longer shook. Her hands no longer trembled when she spoke Min's name. At night, she still visited his room, now a small shrine of light. His favorite toys remained on the shelf, untouched but alive. Sometimes she talked to him as if he were still listening. Your promise worked, Min. You changed lives. Angela often stopped by with flowers and homemade tea. They would sit on the porch, watching children play outside. Do you ever think you'll forgive them? Angela once asked. Mai thought for a long time before answering. I don't need to, she said. They have to live with the truth. A year passed. The foundation funded treatments for more than 50 children. One afternoon, a woman approached her at the hospital. She held the hand of a little girl with bright eyes. Are you Mai? The woman asked, tears in her voice. My daughter's alive because of your foundation. Mai knelt down to meet the child's gaze. What's your name? She asked gently. Lynn, the girl said, smiling wide. Something in Mai's chest loosened, soft and forgiving. She hugged the girl and whispered, Live big, Lynn. Live for all of us. Later, at Min's grave, she placed fresh lilies on the stone. The morning sun warmed her face, and the air felt kind. I kept my promise, my love, she said quietly. You're still here, just in 1,000 other hearts. For the first time since the rain-soaked funeral, she smiled without pain. And in that smile lived everything Min had left behind, hope. The cemetery was quiet under a golden sky. Mai walked slowly, a small bouquet in her hands. The wind carried the scent of lilies and earth. She knelt beside Min's grave, tracing his name with care. A year had passed, yet it felt both distant and near. I did it, my love, she whispered, voice soft but clear. The world knows your name now. You're helping others live. She placed his favorite toy beside the flowers. It had faded with time, but still looked brave and bright. Tears welled in her eyes, but they didn't burn anymore. They were gentle now, like rain after a long storm. She looked up, the sunlight spilling through the clouds. It felt like warmth from a hand she could no longer hold. I'm okay, she said. You can rest now. The wind lifted her hair and carried her words away. Behind her, the city hummed with life and laughter. Children's voices echoed faintly in the distance. Mai smiled, standing tall against the breeze. Love hadn't ended, it had only changed its form. And in that quiet moment, grief finally turned into peace.